little tree stood and dreamed of what they wanted to become when they grew up. The first little tree looked up at the stars twinkling like diamonds above. And she says, the second little tree looked out at the small stream trickling by on its way to the ocean, and she said,
I want to be a big shark ship with crazy kings.
The third little tree looked down into the valley below where busy men and women worked in the town, and she said,
I want to stay on the mountain and point at God.
Years passed, and the rain came. And the rain says,
drip, drip.
and the sun, she shined. I guess it's a cloudy day today. And the little trees grew tall, and one day 3 woodcutters climbed the mountain. The first woodcutter looked at the first tree, and he said,
This tree is beautiful, it's perfect for me.
And with the chop of the shiny axe, the first little tree fell down. And the first little tree said, and the second woodcutter looked at the second tree, and he said,
This tree is strong and perfect for me.
And with a swoop of his shining axe, the second tree fell down. And the second tree said,
I want to be a big shark ship with carries kings.
The third little tree felt her heart sink when the last woodcutter looked her way. And she stood straight and tall and pointed bravely to heaven. But the woodcutter never even looked her way. And the third woodcutter said,
Any kind of tree will do for me.
And with the swoop of her shining axe, the third tree fell down. And the third tree said,
I want to stay on the mountain and point at God.
The first tree rejoiced when the woodcutter brought her to the carpenter shop, but the busy carpenter was not thinking about treasure chest. Instead, the carpenter
My friends eat out of.
The once beautiful tree was not covered with gold or filled with treasure, but she was coated with sawdust and filled with hay for the hungry stable animals. The second tree smiled when the woodcutter took her to the shipyard, but no mighty sailing ships were being made that day. Instead,
I will make a simple fishing boat.
too small and too weak to sail an ocean or even a river, she was taken to a lake, and every day she brought in loads of dead, smelly fish. The third tree was confused when the woodcutter cut her into strong beams and left her in the lumber yard. What happened, the once tall tree wondered. The third tree said,
I want to stay on the mountain and point at God.
Many, many days and nights passed. The 3 trees nearly forgot their dreams. But one night, golden starlight poured over the first tree as a young woman placed her newborn baby in the feed box. And Joseph said,
To make a cradle for him.
and Mary says,
This is a beautiful manger.
Suddenly, the first tree knew that she was holding the greatest treasure in the world. All the animals in the stable rejoiced with the first little tree. And the donkeys said, And the cow said, And the sheep said, and the angels above the tiny stable said,
Jesus is born. Jesus is born.
Olivia's going. She's gonna lose her hand in a minute.
Everyone take your shield down. Shield down.
ready?
Little baby in a manger, I love you. Lying down to earth, a stranger, I love you. Shepherds heard the angels sing, I love you. Wonders saw the star and answered, I love you.
One evening, a tired traveler and his friends crowded into an old fishing boat. The traveler fell asleep as a second tree sailed out into the lake. A storm arose on the water. The lightning, the thunder, the wind, and the rain.
Drip, drip. I put over you as we go sailing on.